They just missed it.
So I don't have to ask it when we're like for Cindy Rose.
Me and him would have got on in. Now that I don't work.
Did you check my numbers? No, did you?
They're like a parts board and just Monte County.
Okay.
Just something.
I don't see him very often,
Yeah.
but when I do, I'm always thrilled.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that earlier.
Yeah, Melissa. Well, I thought they always lived in
No, he
out
lived
that
over
way.
there on Brazos Road.
Oh, really?
And I
Well, at one time
I
they
makes
lived
it
off
close.
this way. No, that's where his mother, her mother lived. Out. We have so many people. She's
Mr. Cullen got voted off. Walked out. Lived in Montana.
oh, those
Not
people get
bad. You know, and he was good. He served a year.
renominated.
So I just don't think it's fair. But then I didn't know what it said. When I looked all through the code book, I was like, is there anything in this book that's going to tell me that I didn't know?
Can't keep them in.
Did you go to banquet?
That's all right. These are all things I should have came and asked for earlier. I've been busy.
You know
And
what?
sick.
I don't think I've ever been to one of them that was in the 90s. Oh, you had to go? Oh, my gosh. No, but Brandon told me I really missed a good time.
It was, yeah, good one last year.
That banquet, the chamber
Oh, it
banquet.
was good. I thought, I didn't see you. Were you?
I was there.
I looked for you. Several people were going, I didn't see you.
I met all the people, but I couldn't say their names.
Okay.
You'll remember faces.
I couldn't tell you their name. If
No,
I
it was
said
really
them,
nice.
I
It was really, I enjoyed it.
I'm terrible with names. I don't forget faces, but
Oh, I welcome everybody tonight and ask you to silence your phones if you will. Sorry, we're getting a little bit of a late start. Let's stand for the invocation and ask Chief Page to offer our invocation.
Father God, we come to you, Lord, we give you praise and glory. God, we just thank you for the many things we don't deserve. We thank you for this beautiful weather. God, we ask you to be at the council tonight. Your will be done through their actions. God, we just lift these things up in your precious son's name. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, with the items, where's item come from? Okay, for the items of community interest, we have 2 awards to present tonight, a Texas Treasure Award and a recognition actually on the second one. So we're going to start with our Texas Treasure Award. We're going to ask Cindy Roller to come to the front, please. And we're going to ask the honors of last name. Yes, we'll want all of the community development board for a photo. We're going to come over here, guys. Barbara likes to take her picture from her chair.
Well, I don't care where, I'll get up and do whatever.
So what we would like,
That's not a problem.
this one looks better. All right, so this is community development board, some new, some old, so you'll meet them later in the evening. What we have to present to you tonight is the Texas Historic Commission Texas Treasure Business Award. Let me read the resolution to explain to you what this means. White's Magneto and Supply, Texas Treasure 2021, the business was sold to Eddie and Gina Robinson, who were both born and raised in Montana County and are proud to serve the community. And the Texas Historical Commission presents this award to White's Magneto for remaining a staple in Bowie, Texas. The city of Bowie would like to extend our appreciation to White's Magneto for their presence and contributions to our community as they continue the tradition of oil-filled engine and magneto repair, as well as sales and service to outdoor power equipment and propane cylinder refills. We appreciate you being here. The city would like to recognize you, and she's gonna, we'll take a picture. We'll wait for everybody to squish in. Everybody squish in. Thank you very much.
Good job, Eddie.
Y'all may not remember this, but I remember we was on 59.
I remember you used to come in.
And I bought my first riding license on cover round, 42-inch cover round from y'all. And I still have it.
Thank y'all very much.
Thank you. And you're not gonna offend us if you don't want to say your
We do have plans. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, now Cindy's gonna be put on the spot. Come here, Cindy. No, come here. The board can be recognized in a moment, but you come here. Cindy takes the pictures and she never gets the actual upfront recognition or the praise for the work that she does. She brought to us the certification of the film-friendly city, which, if you don't know, it took a nightmare of paperwork to get all that done, and then it brought a lot of Lexus vehicles to our community to make commercials there the first time. This one that she worked on is now the tourism-friendly city in Texas. This is awarded by Governor Abbott. I would like for you to give them just a short progress report on what it took to do this.
It took a lot of letters of recommendation, and we were only one of 40 in the whole state that completed this inaugural year. So,
In the inaugural year, so this is the first year of this, and we found her hovered over her computer many days and nights working on getting this done. And I don't think you understand the process that the state will put you through to get any kind of recognition. So I want to personally thank her for the time and dedication that she gives to the city of Bowie. She's been a staple on my staff since I got here. She was the first one that was hired after I got here on your birthday. So, she was second to him. So I want her to know how much we appreciate this. All the recognition that we get for our city is mainly because of you. And I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Our board, which was just up here, I won't make them come up again. Are we gonna get a picture?
Yeah.
Are you gonna stay in the picture? Okay, board, come here, let's stay here. Cause you never get in the photo. Get up for this picture.
You better be careful. I've got sharp objects back here.
And he's got your finger. All right, let's get a picture.
Y'all could smile.
Thank you very much. Now,
And
send it
ladies
to
and
Tom.
gentlemen, it's not just us, it's you. It's the people who makes the visitors that come to Bowie, Texas, welcome. And so I want to say to all of y'all, when you see somebody, invite them to come to Bowie, Texas, to have a chicken picking filling fun time first Saturday in October. Chicken and Red Day. It is a great fun time. And one of the best fiddle contests in North Central Texas.
Thank you, Mildred.
Thank you, Mildred.
Get the piston
She's
head.
not
I'm
finished.
telling you, thank you, Mildred.
Thank y'all very, very much.
Thank you.
Because it takes everyone to make an event good.
Sure does.
You know I had to say that.
All right, let's move on to the city manager's report. Bert?
The week of March 13th will be a busy week. We have 2 bid openings for the March the 13th. First, phase 2 of the sewer line project will have a bid opening on the 13th. These bids will cover new sewer lines for the following streets: Caulfield, Strong, Roach, Hudspeth, and the alley behind Home Street. We still have not gotten an easement for the Glen Hills lift station from the property owners, but our city attorney is working with the owners to finally get that easement done, maybe soon, hopefully. The second bid opening on March 13th is the downtown revitalization project for Smythe Street. The plans were finally approved and it was put out for bid this week. And we'll do those on the same day. Work at the substation transformer project has come to a halt. We kept having problems getting the necessary components. So Jay Evans sent the contractor home until all the necessary equipment is in place. Then we would finish the project, which would take about a month or two, depending on when the contractor and transformer crew could come back. Also, there may have been a little foul up with a switch that didn't get ordered, so it may be the first part of June before that switch comes in and we get to install that. Luckily, we had very few problems with the extremely cold weather. Most of the crews are staying in and cleaning up their respective shop. The guys really are looking forward to spring, so it's nice on days like today and they don't have to get cold. So that's it. Any questions?
Brent, you know I'm going to you. Are you okay? Can we move on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so the next item on the agenda is the consent agenda items. You will see the minutes and the write-offs, but also attached or in your packet is the financial report. So you may enter the podium area, please, ma'am, and present that report.
Well, thank you, Mayor and City Council. All right, if you look at the first page in your book, you're gonna see this report is from 10/1/24 to 12/31/24. It's the first quarter of our fiscal budget year. You're gonna see the revenues for your utilities are right at 23.40%, where we should be at 25%. So they're a little bit low, but we think that'll catch up as the weather and people start using water more and electricity usage. On the expenditures, you're gonna see we're at 25.23, and right now we are showing a deficit of $228,744. But the good news on that, Mr. Kurt Higgins over there applied for our grant today and it's submitted. And the total revenue on that's $644,069. Out of that amount, $239,140 is gonna go directly into this fiscal budget year as revenue. So, all in all, we're gonna be 11,000 to the good after that revenue is booked quarterly in that department. So it might look a little grim now, but promise by the next quarter when I come up here, if it's looking like this, I'll be raising my hand and letting you all know we need to do something different. But I can explain all the deficits at this time. We also, we get billed once a year, annual payment to property and casualty and workman's comp. That's over $250,000 and that's paid in the first month of the year. And that's allocated out to all departments and all funds. So that takes a little while for revenue to catch up, to pay that down a little bit, okay? Also, if you look at page 6, what I look at the first quarter here is if you look at page 6 and you're gonna see salaries up there. As long as that's below 25%, because that's where we are, that means that tells me that we budgeted properly. Also, if you look at page 30, you'll see the same thing. It's below the 25%. That's what you look at the first quarter. The only way you can really look at your budget or your revenue and expenditures at this time is look at your yearly projections out at the time of the budget. If you look at different items, you're gonna see 50% usage because we possibly purchased some of the capital equipment that was budgeted. And we bought a skid steer, we bought a dump truck and a backhoe, which was budgeted at the time, last year's budget. Some of you on the council can remember. So the revenue just needs to catch up a little bit. Right now, I think we're doing, all in all, we're doing very, very well. Right now, the general fund's doing excellent, but as you know, as property tax come in throughout the year, the general fund sort of absorbs that in expenditures. Any questions? Anybody but Mayor Pro Tem?
Oops.
That's terrible, she said
I'm not a smart man. I just have a lot of things I need to
No
ask.
things that are.
You have a lot of things you need to ask, see? That's why.
So when we're talking about the insurance and you were saying the workers' comp and all that, across the departments, is that what the, is it, on the whole, it looks like it's over what was budgeted? in
Just a
every-
little bit, yes, in
in
some
everywhere.
departments, correct. And the workman's comp, it depends on,
The skill of
workman's
that
comp
job?
and the skill of the job and also how many, employees are within that department.
When do we usually find out, like, overall, I don't see anywhere that I could see like the total amount, like just in general, on the full budget of insurance. How much is over what we've budgeted, and is that something we need to kind of take
All in
into
all,
effect?
all in
or
all,
account?
all in all, it's not over.
Okay.
Okay, it's, yeah,
So
it's
it's
within,
just-
well, maybe 5,000, but that's nothing.
But for,
Okay,
per department, we're not up and above the norms.
that's correct.
Okay. And then, I guess, saying that, hey, we need to catch up, it would make sense if we have, I know we budgeted all this, it's somewhat conservative,
Mhm.
what we're guessing and when we can get these things fulfilled. Would it be better to stagger some of these larger purchases throughout the year as we're coming, like, next year's budget?
Well, the department
don't-
heads, yes, in a perfect world, but the department heads been waiting all year for this.
Right,
And,
they
the
need
first
it.
couple months, they need it,
I can
so.
understand that too.
So that's why we show a little bit of deficit the first quarter, and if you look back, last year, we didn't buy any capital improvement projects, or pretty much anything but leased vehicles.
That's
So
what I was looking
why.
at today.
So that's why this year, the council and your city manager decided that they have to have the tools to do their job.
Oh, 100% agree. Just, are we having to rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing?
The first quarter, yeah, it's gonna take a little while for the revenues to catch up, yes. But like I said, if I come in front of you in the second quarter, then we might have to have a different discussion, and I won't stand up here and say that these look very well. Because I don't think that's gonna happen. I think the revenues are gonna catch up because a lot of the expenditures that were budgeted have already spent.
Yeah.
And if our budget year was January to December, it would look so
Sure.
much better.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
Yes, it would. Thank you.
Good point.
Any other questions? I do want to point out one thing, and I don't like to bring out departments or anything, but please take note on the ambulance collection. That's up $105,000
So,
on revenue, okay? And the mayor's going to talk a little bit about the hotel motel and a few. Our sales tax are above, $8,500. So all in all, you have to look at the positives also in this report.
The ambulance is more than a positive, it's shocking.
it is shocking.
But that
It's shocking.
can change.
I kept
That's
reading
true.
it like more than once, going, am I reading this right?
All right, any more questions for her?
Good job.
All right, well, if not, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Pamela, we're going to move to a motion on accepting the consent agenda items as presented, all including the financial report. I need a motion.
So moved.
Laura, do I have a second?
Second?
Brent, is that
Yes.
you? Okay. Shaw,
Yes.
Truax,
Yes.
Ashley,
Aye.
Sproles,
Aye.
and Walker.
Aye.
No, let me go back to my other pile over here. Maybe. Where's my agenda? I got it. In one of those days. All right, so I'm going to go out of order here a little bit because we have Mike Tibbetts with us tonight, and he lives 2 hours from here.
Oh.
So we're going to go ahead and put him on the podium. so we can go over his project with us and get him on the road.
Thank you very much. Mayor, council, some of y'all were not here when this project got started, but this is the Nelson Street Bridge Replacement Project. You recall, in August of '22, y'all had a big flood here, and the bridge at Nelson Street became the cavern at Nelson Street. City had to close off Nelson Street, and there were 3 36-inch culverts, tin horns, whatever you want to call it there. They were mostly crushed or collapsed, and they served as almost more of a dam than a bridge. And so water went over the bridge, and if you look at the letter that's the recommendation letter there, the top part shows the before pictures. That shows what we had to start with, and then the bottom there is what we have now. There are 2 11-foot wide by 6-foot tall, 66 square feet of opening in 2 culverts or 2 channels underneath Nelson Street. Okay, so this is a huge increase in capacity for y'all. And I want to congratulate y'all. For a town your size, you dedicated a lot of money to a project here, and it was awarded to the low bidder. I think y'all got 4 or 5 bids on it. It was awarded to the low bidder, and I think it appears to be a very successful project. I want to show you the next page. Now we've got a 20-foot wide channel at the bottom. I think it's about 30 feet wide, concrete lined at the top. Got guardrails and fences. The next page, 3, has got the improvements over by I don't know if it's elementary or middle school, but it's over there. And you may wonder why we have it's like a bar grate. We have some steel grating over that opening, but it's so that if there's any kids playing in there, they don't get washed into the drain system. It's going to be more work on Stoney to keep that thing cleaned off, but once the water goes in there, it goes into 2 42-inch pipes, and it goes for several hundred yards to the intersection of Mill and Nelson, and it goes several hundred yards down to the creek. We don't want any kids getting into that, so that's some safety precautions that's been put in there. I want to thank y'all for being so good to work with, especially Stoney. Stoney and his crews were out there a lot, helping find things we didn't know about, dealing with issues that came up, and so it's just been wonderful to work with. I told Stoney I hope that I retire before he does, because he has just been so good to work with. If you look on page 5, that was the opening at the intersection of Mill and Nelson for the water that gets to that location. There's about 140 acres of water that drained, or 140 acres of area that drained to that point. We had a 4x4 opening there. Now, the intersection is a depressed intersection. It's about 6 inches lower at the middle than it is at the edge of the curb, so that we collect water there. There's a 12-foot by 12-foot grading there instead of a 4-foot by 4-foot that was on the corner of the intersection that only drained the corner. You go to page 6, there's part of what happened after the flood of August of '22. Entire sections of road washed out and just dangerous to drive on. Now what you have is 9 inches of compacted base rock on top of compacted subgrade and 9 inches of reinforced concrete pavement on top of that. So you've got a wonderful street section there. Should last y'all a long time. Now that's all the good news. As I discussed back when this project was awarded in July of '23, typically we move drainage problems downstream. Okay, we're going to fix it here at Nelson Street, but it's going to move to the next bridge downstream, and that's Rock and Pillar. If y'all driven down there, you know that some of the road is already partially undermined there. There's large collapsed culverts in that location also. So if Bert can find some funding for it, then maybe y'all can address that issue. Fortunately, there's another route, emergency route to get through there, but just like we had here on Nelson Street. Now, one thing that I don't know in my career if I've ever been able to do this before, but we got to also issue a change order on this project that reduced the cost of the project. We didn't spend as much money on this one as we thought. We thought it was gonna be 2.004 million. At the end, it was 1.956 or, anyway, we had a contract change order that reduced the cost of the project. So I can answer questions or we can go on, but my recommendation is that the final contract amount be awarded to MX Construction. And this will be partial pay request number 12 in the amount of $138,192.99. This will completely pay the contractor for the project. Now, some of you may have heard some concerns or some rumors that the contractor had not paid all of his subs or suppliers. Some of them were local. And so we made sure that those suppliers and subcontractors gave us a written statement saying that they had been paid in full before we will pay them. We don't want you getting a lien against you because somebody else didn't pay their obligations. And so we also got a letter from their bonding company saying that they were approved, we are approved to release the final pay to them. So I believe that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed, and that's my recommendation to y'all.
Does anybody have any questions for Mike?
Mike, you might mention the warranty.
Good idea, good idea. The warranty started in November when they completed the construction, and when they got all the construction completed, they have to address deficiencies in materials or workmanship at no cost to you, for a year. And the reason it's back as far as November, it took them from November till about 2 weeks ago for them to get all their subs and subcontractors paid for, or paid off. And so, but they're supposed to take care of that under terms of the contract at no cost to you if there's any deficiencies in materials or workmanship.
Stoney, how are you feeling about the project?
I'm good, I'm glad.
So was the change order, are you talking about their delay in getting it done? That was where we saved the money?
Well, there were numerous issues, but one of the things that yes, it's called liquidated damages, and that is an agreed-to amount that's in the contract that says this is what the city is out for each day that you don't finish. And some of that includes Stoney and his crew's time, some of it includes my time, some of it includes your staff's time, and they agree. It's not a punishment, it's not a penalty, it's just this is what the city is out when you don't finish. When I gave you a price for my services, I had a 270-day contract. Well, they went way over that, so my time increased. Another problem that we had was that they built the bridge about 7 feet too far downstream, and they had to build a reinforced concrete deck because there wasn't any road to drive on. Well, I had to go back to my structural engineer and redesign it. It took another 3 or 4 months to do that. So we took out of their contract the amount that I charged y'all for the extra work that as a result of their failure. So we did everything legal and what I think ethical to get the money back to you that was due to you that you spent because of their errors.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions for Mike? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Any conversation before I ask for a motion?
Sounds like all the factors we had talked about or had concerns over have been addressed, and I think everybody's on the same page now.
Yep. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Um,
Thanks for letting me go early.
Absolutely. I would entertain a motion to accept the request for the final payment on the Nelson Street Bridge.
So moved.
Ashley? Do I have a second?
Second.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
Truax?
Aye.
And Sproles?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Thanks,
We
Mike.
appreciate it.
We
Be careful
appreciate it.
going home. right, the next item on the agenda is an old business item, the second reading of ordinance 2021-01, the ordinance of the city, Council of the City of Bowie, Texas, amending Chapter 10, Traffic Control by adding Article 10.200, stop signs established, regulating traffic flow at the intersection of Nelson and North Lamb Streets in Bowie, Texas, establishing stop and sign traffic control devices, repealing any conflicting clause, providing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date. This was on the agenda at our last meeting. This is regarding the traffic sign that we put up at Nelson and, what's the name of that street? Nelson and Lamb. So this is the second reading of the ordinance. I would entertain a motion to accept the ordinance.
So moved.
Laramie? Do I have a second?
Second.
You, Brandon? Shaw?
Yes.
Truax?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker? Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, to the next business is the appointment to the Community Development Board. They have 3 new members joining. Yay! They are Renee Hart, Matthew Hunt, and Marty Elmore. Marty didn't make it tonight, did he? Fiddler lessons. So, is Renee here? No. Oh, well, good. Keep her at home. But Matthew's here. I saw him. Matthew's here. So we're going to go with Renee Hart, number 1. Her application is in the packet that you have. And I would entertain a motion to accept Renee Hart to the Community Development Board.
So moved.
Shaw, do I have a second?
Second.
Truax. Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Shaw?
Yes.
And Truax.
Aye.
The next one is for Matthew Hunt. He's in the back of the room. Matthew, was your motorcycle you drove in on tonight? Yes, he makes a present when he shows up. I would entertain a motion to add Matthew Hunt to the Community Development Board.
So moved.
Shaw, do I have a second?
Second.
Ashley? Truax?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Shaw?
Aye.
And Walker?
Aye.
Thank you. And the last one is Marty Elmore. Most of you in here probably know Marty. He works with the Fiddlers Contest. Has been with us for years. And Cindy finally conned him into sitting on the board. So I'd entertain a motion for Marty Elmore.
So moved.
Shaw, do I have a second?
Second.
Ashley? Truax?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
And Ashley?
Aye.
All right, that is the Community Development Board. Thank you. You don't have to stay if you don't want to. But we're going to move on to the next one. Appointment and/or reappointment to the Hotel Motel Board for Jamie Rodden, Mary Jane Fulton, and myself. I'm the council representative for the board. Jamie is coming on as the reappointment as the chamber representative. Our board requires 2 chamber representatives. Mary Jane Fulton is the new director for the Chamber of Commerce, so she will come on as the board member. And then my reappointment, it's time for my reappointment. So I would entertain a motion for Jamie Rodden.
So moved.
Sproles, do I have a second?
Second.
Truax? Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Truax?
Yes.
And Shaw.
Yes.
The next one is for Mary Jane Fulton.
So moved.
Sproles?
Second.
Brandon? Truax?
Yes.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
And the last one is for myself.
So moved.
Sproles, a second?
I think they were doing that on purpose.
You think? Do I have a second?
Second.
Truax? Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles? Walker?
Aye.
Truax?
Aye.
And Shaw.
Aye.
All right, that's our hotel motel board. Next item on the list is with Bradley Arp. As you know, this was no motion at our last meeting, Bradley Art, but we were able to ascertain that he does in fact own property in the city limits, isn't it? Yeah, within the city limits. 2 properties. So we will like to reappoint him, reappoint him to the Board of Adjustments and Appeals. So I'd entertain that motion for Bradley Art.
So moved.
Shaw, who said second? Ashley. Post, oh no, she's not here, never mind. Walker.
Aye.
Ashley.
Aye.
Sproles.
Aye.
Shaw.
Aye.
And Truax.
Aye.
The next item on the agenda is the Resolution 2025-07, a resolution authorizing membership in the Atmos City Steering Committee and authorizing the payment of 5 cents per capita to the Atmos City Steering Committee to fund regulatory and related activities related to Atmos Energy Corporation. Please, because we have new council members, would you?
Basically, this organization this is basically legal fees. We are members of this organization, and when Atmos files for a rate increase, they take that battle to the PUC or not the PUC, the Railroad Commission for us, to fight against the rate increase, to make sure that it is justified rate increase and we don't get charged too much. And a nickel per head in Bowie is pretty cheap legal fees, so.
And most of the towns, like towns our size, are a part of this, correct? It'd just be like Houston, Dallas that does their own.
Yeah, there's very few municipalities that do their own fight, and it's because they're, like you say, Houston, Dallas, the big metropolitan area. Wichita Falls is a member of this, Abilene is a member of this, but some of the communities that are big like that, they fight their own battles, and sometimes they lose. Dallas County has fought battles before and lost, so, or the city of Dallas, so.
I think I may have said this at the last meeting. My father lives outside the city limits and has Atmos gas. My base rate, I think, is $36 for Atmos gas, if anybody looks at their bill, but I think it's about $36. His is $47. So that alone is one of the things that they do for us. They start with that base rate. And then his GPMs, or whatever they call it, is higher. And he's literally across the street from the city limits. So there's no one to fight for them in the county, but this steering group fights for us in the city.
Years ago, we used to have to fight our own battles, and we always ended up losing because we didn't have the staff to do that with. And I remember years ago, I asked Lone Star Gas at the time to get me sample rates of other cities close to us, and I couldn't get them to do it. And the reason was because everybody's rates are different. With the Atmos Energy Steering Committee, everybody's rates are the same that live in a municipality. So it's all fair and even and above board. So.
It's a great deal for our citizens. So I would entertain a motion for Resolution 2025-07.
So moved.
Shaw, do I have a second?
Second.
Ashley? Truax?
Aye.
Walker?
Aye.
Sproles?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
And Shaw.
Yes.
All right. The next item on the agenda is Resolution 2025, a resolution, Kirk, you can make your way to the podium, a resolution approving submission of the grant application for the City of Bowie for portable radio communications project.
Actually, it's not quite portable, but that's okay. I'm here tonight to ask for your support for a grant request to the Governor's Office of Homeland Security. They do this every year. This year, we're requesting $13,628.85 to purchase 4 radios for the Emergency Operations Center, a repeater for the Office of Emergency Management, which would be portable, would be able to take it out on scene if we had a big event, a wildfire, those kind of things. Currently, all the radios in the EOC are considered obsolete by their manufacturers, so there is no repair service, very difficult to get parts and those kind of things, and they don't meet the current standards that are required of the radios. That's why we're wanting to upgrade the radios in the EOC. This is a 100% grant with no local share. So if we get it, we don't have to chip in anything.
Yeah, cool. Any questions for Kirk? It's kind of a no-brainer. All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept Resolution 2025-08.
So moved.
Walker, do I have a second? Truax? Walker?
Yes.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
And Truax. Next item on the report is the, next item on the agenda is the hotel motel report. If you'll look and see, this is what Pamela was talking about earlier. I know I've told you this several times, and Cindy will attest to this. I've been really guarded on the expenditures until we got a full year behind us, and it took several years after 2020 to get everything back in line to where it was. We're now looking at numbers that we had pre-2020. So these are your assets. You can see the revenues and expenditures is for the first quarter. We're expecting another great year for hotel motel revenues. So this report was provided to us by the finance department.
And let me mention that Pam has done an excellent job of getting the motels to pay what they owe on this tax, so
Oh,
we've
yeah.
done a good job of collecting.
Yeah, she does not let them get, I mean, if they got behind, it wasn't because she wasn't beating their door down.
Can we get a list of the expenditures?
Yes, in fact, I thought it was gonna be here tonight, but it's not, but, I'll have Sandy email it to you this week.
That'll work.
Most of what you'll see that's been on there so far is billboards, I believe. Because several years ago, Cindy and I made the decision that billboards would be paid once a year, so we pay them annually. So that's what you're gonna see most of the expenses of. All right, I'd entertain a motion to accept the hotel motel report.
So moved.
Sproles, do I have a second?
Second.
Shaw? Walker?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
And Truax. All right, so the next item on the agenda, this is actually coming to us via Stephanie. So as you know, the last meeting we had water rates on the agenda, and Bert asked her what she needed to understand everything, and she said a workshop. So we are going to put together a workshop. We have met, some of us have met today and put together a game plan, and they will also participate in that workshop, which would be Stoney, Pam, Bert, myself, and Jerry from the water plant. We'd like to schedule it for next Tuesday night, which is March the 4th at 6 o'clock here in the conference room. And it'll be kind of a powwow session. You'll be able to, we'll lay everything out so that it's a lot easier to have that conversation in a workshop. No decisions will be made. That'll come to you on the next agenda. So I'd entertain a motion to set a workshop.
So go through this again. What's the workshop for?
It's for the water rates and for, okay, it's for the water rates, the water pump project. We want to educate you on the 7.5 mile line going out to the lake. We want to, come on, rattle off some of them. There's 4 big items. Oh, the upgrade, TCEQ is now added to our list of things we have to do as an upgrade on the water plant. Where we're maxing out on our capacity at the water plant, so they're requiring us to do, could be as early as 6 months to start a plan on an upgrade on the water plant, which is also, we're estimating an $8 to $10 million project. So these are all things that you need detailed information on, and we'd like to provide it at a workshop. So again, I have a motion for a workshop on the floor. I need a motion for a workshop.
You've made it sound so fun.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so
So excited.
it's,
Does this include dinner?
I will make sure you have food there. Yes, ma'am.
All right, so
I'm
moved.
fine with that date.
So moved.
Okay, Sproles, you want to move for it? And
Yes.
so Shaw, were you a second?
Yes, second.
Thank you. By the way, Stephanie has put us on her agenda. Walker?
Aye.
Ashley?
Aye.
Sproles?
Aye.
Shaw?
Aye.
And Truax. And we will try not to overload you, but we will have information there for you to walk out of there and feel comfortable with knowing what you need to know. All right, so public comments are open to the floor. If we have anybody that would like to make any?
You gonna do that plat?
No.
No, the plat was removed because
Oh.
they didn't have a
They-
quorum.
They didn't have a quorum.
Oh,
at
that's
this
right.
meeting.
I knew
Okay.
that.
Sorry.
Gary's the only one that showed up. There's 4 of them missing.
All right, if there's no public comments, then we're going to call the meeting at what time? 6:45. Thank you very much.
It's 6, right?
6 o'clock,
Six.
just like tonight. Have them
Are
food.
these our little bags?
Have them food. So Laura, take care of it. What? Take care of it.